And then the 3 and 4 year olds, entry number 2, Red Lion Climber, will be first in the class in the open show, and then second will be entry number 340, TCG Braxton Pixie from Destiny Leonardo. Judge, read your comments.
Well, 2 really nice dry cows. Here it's a very close placing. I think you could reason probably both of these cows. I mean, but I think when I evaluate this red cow, I like the dairy quality of this cow. Exemplifies to me she's just a little bit open, cleaner cow. I think when you see her move, she's longer through that head of neck. When she comes at you, she just acts a little bit more width to that muzzle, width to that rump region, just more openness to rib. I think I like her third placement a little bit better. She keeps her legs underneath her a little nicer than this big, tall, long cow. Coming second, cow in second, really impressed with the upstandingness, the length of frame. She's a big cow. Both these cows just need the calf again, and we can really define how good these cows are. But for today, I just like the quality, the airiness of this great cow over the cow in second. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark. Now we'll just have the dry 5-year-old cows over. Be brought into the arena, please. The dry 5-year-old. And if you'd like to mark your catalogs, entry number 340 was second in our class. Entry number 2 was first in our class, UTAG Red Lion Climber. After the completion of these dry calves, the next class will be starting with the winter heifer calves. Be bringing them up to the arena, please. And the winning dry 5 and older is entry number 3, UTAG Dundee Edifield. Judge, read your comments.
Well, just one entry in this dry cow, age cow class. And she's a cow that's 5 years old. She's due here in July coming up. She's a cow I think the most impressive is like the width and power. She's a very strong, wide cow. She's got some width to the rump. Seems to have really nice silkiness to that udder attachment. The cows you want to change, right? Just like to change the set to that leg a little bit, straighten her up, just make her more mobile on her rear legs for a cow her age. But like I said, impressiveness is her power and strength. Congratulations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just one entry in our red and white show to start out here at our winter calf. But a quite exceptional calf in her frame. She's a well-grown calf, a lot of width and power. Really admire that depth and openness, both fore and rear rib. And she's a very long-framed heifer. Congratulations.
And in the red show, entry number 14, Appleseed Cherry Red, owned by Clint Wade of Ogden, Utah, is the winner in that class. Congratulations. And now for the black and white show, let's go ahead and bring the winner heifer calves to the ring. And as time goes on in this show, we are going to mention a few times some of the history that has gone on. I'd like to at this time give a little bit of thanks to particularly the Holstein World and also Jerry Strandland, two of the finest, some of the finest journalists in the country as far as for digging up a lot of this information and going back in history on this Richmond Black and White show. Really have to admire what was written here recently as far as in the Holstein World. They talked about, they said in 1915, you think about it, that's the first time they had one of these, the Richmond Black and White show. The world was a very different world at that time. You got to recall, if you want to go back in history, the Titanic had sunk a few years ago. Prior to that, and World War I was just getting started. And the Holstein World, if you want to take a guess, had been in circulation for 11 years. And out here in Richmond, Utah, there was a group of 12 dairy producers that were founding an event to celebrate the local dairy industry. And one would last the test of time. Richmond Black and White Days and hosted the longest running continuous United States Holstein show. And the show now carries the title of the Western National Spring Show and is one of the 10 national Holstein shows. Another thing that excellent article that I was reading, it said that in 1937 show, as reported by the Holstein World, had an estimated attendance of over 10,000 spectators to watch 110 registered animals and 61 grade animal shows. 1943, the Holstein World article reported that the show featured 200 Holsteins in classes for both registered and grade. And Utah's governor and other state dignitaries attended, including the State Commissioner of Agriculture, the head of the Livestock Division, and the Western Fieldmen for the Holstein Association. It's also interesting to know, Greg Harris, the current show committee chairman, is a descendant of C.Z. Harris, and is a sixth generation to participate in the show and serve on the planning committee. Some of those founding fathers were Clarence Funk, J. Lewis McCary, Fred Whittle, George Webb, O.D. Merrill, Nephi Nelson, Parley Nelson, Leander Pearl, Earl Robinson, Cyrus Pullen, Kenneth Pullen, and C.V. Harris. And those were the founding fathers of this show. And Mr. Funk had read about another dairy show and he had wanted to start one area to help increase milk production for the Utah Milk Condensery, also known as the Seago Milk Company. And he also wanted to encourage area dairymen to buy and breed better cattle. An organizational meeting was held on March 17th of 1913. And it was McCary that is credited with naming it as a black and white show. That spring, cattle were put in a corral and they were judged from horseback. The judges would point out the best animals. It's kind of interesting to note that also in the article, it mentioned that the show in 1914, that the previous year, had been canceled because of a disease called Spanish flu and foot and mouth disease. And then the show was reinstated the next year. So for 1915, when it officially started in 1918, an open field served as the show ring. And also then in 1915, if you want to look in the magazine that the Northwest Holstein News, Jerry has covered that, and it shows that there's a bull by the name of Rag Apple Thorndike, the 13th. He was displayed at that event. And although no auction was held, there were several private sales were made. And the magazine states that one cow provided a monthly check of $29. That would be about $674 in today's dollars for milk. Monthly check of $29 for a round. The auctioneer, Colonel Walters, he tried holding an auction in 1916 by standing on a rock at noon and announcing an auction, but no one wanted to sell their animals. And those early shows I had entries from some interesting exhibitors, including the School for the Deaf and Blind in Ogden, Utah, Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah, the Abbey of the Lady of the Holy Trinity in Huntsville, Utah, and then the Utah State Industrial School of Ogden, Utah. This show also drew some Idaho exhibitors. anyway, the next 2 days we'll be going through quite a bit of history on it. That's some of the folks that come forward that provided a lot of this information. Jerry Strandman was telling me that when he started some of this information for his extremely beautiful and certainly filled with information. The Northwest Holstein News edition 2015. If you haven't gotten one, make sure that you pick one up. It's something that you're going to hold on to forever. We talk about some interesting pictures in there, and they talk about the longevity of the show. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to the 2015 Black and White Days of the Western Spring National Show. Enjoy watching some of the finals cattle in North America being paraded in front of our judge this year, and it's certainly going to enjoy it. And at this time, our Judge Reed has lined up the class of the winner of Heifer calves, and they tell me that there is, I know we see junior exhibitors out there, but at this time, we're not going to, they are not the junior animals. So anyway, we're going to go right into the recognition of the winners. Third place, entry number 10, is Pappy's Brokaw Roxy. Second place, entry number 319 from Hoagie's Registered Holsteins and Wayland Dairy. And our winner of the class is entry number 13, Yorton's Absolute Vodka. And she's owned by Janice Celine, Gary Yorton, and Matt Day. Congratulations. Judge Reed, your comments.
Well, really nice heifer class, a lot of quality all the way down this lineup, just a real testament for this area, but quite a handy winner. I think you really admire the size and stretch of this calf, but it really comes down to that body capacity. She's a heifer that's very open, has a lot of spray rib and depth of rib, and she uses that capacity to go over the calf, in second. She does more heifer in that frame reach. She shows more spring to rib, more depth to rib, and more width down to that chest bone, and it's very long heifer coming in second. Second over third are closer places, but to me, the heifer in second just has a little bit more width and power throughout, a little wider through that muzzle, a little wider through that rump, and this very youthful heifer coming in third. I really love the style and balance of this heifer in third. She's very long, feminine, and clean, and she uses that quality of feet legs. To me, she tracks a little nicer on the rear leg. She's a little more correct in the set of that rear leg. It just handles her rear legs a little nicer than this very deep body heifer coming in fourth. Fourth over fifth, to me, feet legs. I just like how she's down on that passing region. She just flexes the passing a little bit nicer. She also shows me a little bit more dariness and quality and openness to that rib also than the heifer in fifth. Beautiful heifer class. Congratulations.
And if you're following along in your catalog, class number 3, entry number 330 is a 7th in the class. And then the entry number 341 was a scratch. I should mention on the previous page also 4, 5, and 6 are scratch. 7 is scratch, 8 is scratch. Entry number 9 is 5th. Entry number 10 was 3rd. Entry number 11 is a scratch. Entry number 12 was 8th. Entry number 331 was 6th. Entry number 13 was 1st, and she was the first place red bone. Entry number 14 was 10th. She was the first place red animal class. Entry number 15 was 4th. Entry number 313 was 2nd. Entry number 335 was 13th. Entry number 16 was scratched. Entry number 324 was 11th. Entry number 17 was scratched. 337 is a scratch. Entry number 18 is also scratched. Entry number 19 is scratched. Entry number 322 was 12th, and she was the first place junior, and she's owned by Nolan Jensen. And then we have an added entry in the class, entry number 346, Cameron's Twinbrook Coconut, owned by Joey Arosa and Hank Benexel, and she was 9th. Now we're showing class number 4, and these are the fall heifer calves, and this is the red. On the completion of this class, and we will bring in the black and white heifers.
Well, just 2 entries in this red and white fall calf class, but quite a handy winner. Just a beautiful heifer here at first. The young lady wants to pull her out. Just exceptional on her body capacity, depth and width and dariness. And she uses that overall frame, that, like I said, the depth of that rear flame, the openness of that rib to go over the heifer in second. To me, she's just a more open dairy heifer, and her cleanliness to clean her up through the head and neck. Just a little cleaner down through that hop region. Also, and showing a little more silkiness of hide than the heifer in second. Heifer in second is also a nice heifer. She's a square rump heifer. Just don't have quite the capacity and openness of rib here to go over the beautiful heifer first.
And thank you, Mark. Entry number 24 was the first place red in the fall heifer calves. Jotex Bonnie Red. Gianni Cosa. Congratulations. And then the second place red will be entry number 336. She is owned by Kent Ashton, Bologna Absolute Man. to show up to the show if you happen to be going to the Richmond office right here. It's on the east side of the arena. You can get a Centennial Black and White Days hat in there. They're on sale in the office there for $10, and then also you can take a few minutes and watch a video of the Black and White Days. And that's all in the office directly behind me on the east side. So make sure you don't leave the Richmond show without seeing that. And I think one of the things that we kind of wanted to do during this 100th celebration of the Richmond show was recognize some people that's probably been here for many years. This person that I had Marty Mickelson bring up to the announcer stand has certainly been Mr. Holstein in Utah for many years, and I remember I first got to meet him about 30-some years ago, and it's been a pleasure. Certainly an outstanding breeder. Guy that we also associated that name with integrity, and also did a lot for developing some great cattle. Anyway, I want to say, Mr. Harry Papageorge, thank you. It's a pleasure seeing you here at Richmond, Utah.
Thanks, Jim. It's a great pleasure to be here. There's probably in here that gives as many shows as anyone. It's really a pleasure to see the show continue the way it has. This show is the oldest in the country, and it's all done to the dedication and the determination of the local citizens donating time and effort to clean up the facility after you're gone, to make it as pleasant for you as they can while you're here. And you ask yourself, well, why is this one lasted, and why does some of the others fade by the wayside? And I think it is that dedication that I mentioned, but also the assistance they receive from the Glen Grant College here in Logan, the Utah State University. They're a big part of this, keeping this show going. And I'd like to give everyone that's involved a big hand for the work they've done over the years.
And Harry, we thank you. Yeah, let's give him a round of applause. I tell you what, these gentlemen like this have put in a lot of hard work. We really do appreciate it, really do. So thank you so much, Harry. I hope you see you here at the next 100th anniversary. And if anybody, give him a little bit of assistance. We have a heifer that has got loose out here. Makes you appreciate working with a breed of cattle as docile as that. Isn't that great? We've all seen, like on YouTube videos, watching Grandma Bull jump up there in the arena, and it kills a few people in that. So anyway, appreciate a nice gentle heifer like that. Gets loose out there, and within no time we got it caught. So anyway, makes you appreciate some of the things that's gone on here over the year. Harry, when he came up here, he talked a lot about the big help that we've got through the local Richmond community and what they have done to make this show. And it kind of reminds me also of this beautiful arena that we get to watch this show in. I remember some of the first years that we absolutely absolutely didn't have anything over our heads out here. It was, if it rained, it rained. And you'll see some of those first pictures in the Northwest Holstein News where they had they show that out there with the baseball playing it is today. And also, I think later on when we get Glenn Brown to come up here, I want Glenn to definitely tell us about the situation how this building was built in the early 80s, and then a long winter with accumulated a lot of snow caused it to come crashing down there in the middle of winter. Luckily, we had Glenn in the Utah State Legislature at the time, and Glenn went right to work as far as getting the funds to put this thing right back up. And stands here today and such. So anyway, definitely big appreciation. But yeah, a lot of history here, and that's one thing that it is the longest running Holstein show in the country, over 100 years. So anyway, appreciate it. Richmond, thank you so much. And gentlemen that's on my left here, I'm going to introduce, I think about everybody probably in Utah knows this guy. He's been here many years, Mr. Glenn Brown. And also, Glenn has also been the national president of the Holstein USA for the last 2 years. And what a pleasure to introduce to him. I'm going to let Glenn make a few announcements as far as some of the, we have some important dignitaries that's going to be visiting Richmond this year. Glenn, I'll let you tell us about it.
Thank you, Jim. Again, I extend my welcome to everyone here to the Black and White Days of Appreciation for you. Thank you for getting here and trusting you to days to share what's happening there inspired. We will have the governor of our state who will be joining us in the morning. Welcome him as well as the Commissioner of Agriculture will be with us tomorrow. They've been very supportive of this 100-year anniversary. We're able to extend our appreciation and welcome them to the bar. Again, I thank you for your attendance, being here.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Well, I had the mic up here, I express my appreciation to Jim for his work. He's been doing this for a number of years, and he adds a great deal to best members, our understanding, and we really appreciate his efforts to be here and running the mic for us, and we'll be able to set all of our back in the law. So, Jim, thank you, and hope everybody enjoys a beautiful day. We got the sun out there, so we look well.
Thank you, Glenn, and I'm looking forward to you coming up here and introducing the governor and also the Commissioner of Agriculture for the state of Utah. Thank you so much. And talking about the history of this Richmond show, it's interesting to review the list of the grand champion and reserve grand champion cows, which have passed through the show right here at Richmond over the years. And looking at some of the photos of the early winners, the breed has definitely come a long way, to say the least, in improving the type of Holstein cow. If you want to take a guess on what exhibitors have exhibited the grand champion mostly over the years, it's Happy's Farm. He's from Malvern, Utah. The Can't been bred or owned by Georges, and that is coveted recognition. The second most grand champions from Utah State University, Northern Utah. Certainly an accomplishment especially for a land-grant institution, and they've had 9 championships. And then next in line is Howell Acres from Fort Upton, Colorado, with 8 championships. Henry Drury and Sons Preston had 4 championship cows over the years. And in 1957, Henry Colin Reddick was the first cow from out of state to be named the grand champion at this Richmond show. The individual cows being selected grand champion 3 or more times include Imperial Posh Seniors, 4 different times in Utah State University. Bertolini Echo by 3 times. You might remember her back in the mid-70s from Pappy's Farms, and the cow was bred up in the state of Washington. Sleepy Hollow Magic Bonnie. Cow was owned by Henry Drury and Sons. She won it 3 different times. There's a few cows that have been won it twice as the grand champion. And that more recently was for West Coast Holsteins in Chilliwack, British Columbia, Brainwave, Golden, and Laramie. And then also, if you might recall, a few years ago, Rodwin Laurier Lou from Hank Van Exel and Howard Binder. And then also, you remember a cow that came out of California with the name of Extrango 4 Cozy from Excelsior Farms. And then also a cow that won twice was Sea Fairview Marlin Mona from Pappy's Farms. And then a cow that Howard Binder bred, Howell Acres Colonel Bungles. You might remember a cow, her name was Grog Brett Sherry from Apache Farms of Buell, Idaho. She won it twice. And there never has been a cow capture the reserve grand champion ribbon more than twice. And winning the reserve champion ribbon are the following cows: Bud John Cusco Julia from Giltex era, and Bill Hagman. And there was a cow also, which Triple Threat Janet from P-Bar W. had that was reserved twice. Jodell Indigo from Howard Binder. I remember a white cow that came out of Colorado. She was a Font Donner, Ray Mardoni Font Diane from Boulder Valley Holsteins. She was reserved twice here at the Richmond show. And if you notice that there's a gentleman out here in the ring also that I'd like to introduce. He wasn't available earlier, but I would like to introduce Stan Henderson from San Luis Obispo, California. Yeah, he still works with Cal Poly, and of course spent many years right here at Utah State University, working with the dairy program. And anyway, I also want to say, I think Stan, you also judged a show here, if I recall, in 1994. Right? There was a cow by the name of Macy Lake, Panama, that you made grand champion. I believe that belonged to Joe Rose and Sons of Tipton, California. So anyway, Stan, nice having you as the associate. We'll make sure we get a proper introduction tomorrow, and the show starts tomorrow at 9:30. Stan, I do want to tell you. Anyway, nice having you here. Okay, and right now I'd like to go ahead and have the juniors take a couple steps forward, please. I'd like to recognize the juniors in the class here. Our second place juniors, entry number 24, and entry number 24 is Giltex Bonnie Red for Miss Kazi Porto from California. Congratulations, young lady. And our second junior, and that is our first place winner, entry number 40, Campbell's Atwood Ladies Queen from Destiny Leonardo. Now for the winners in the class, and our third place winner in this class is Bella Homa Jet Air from Utah State University. And then in second place in the class is entry number 33, Happy's Golden Reese from Happy's Farms above in Utah. And the winner in the class, our junior winner, she's also the first place red known, entry number 40, Campbell's Atwood Ladies Queen from Destiny Leonardo. And she's also bred by Campbell's Holsteins. Congratulations. Judge Mark, read your comments, please.
Well, another really nice class, a lot of size and shapes, but this first heifer is by far the most on the money here today. Boy, when you see her come out, she's just a heifer loaded with style and balance. She's extremely hard top. You love that depth and openness of rib, and just the way she moves on her feet and legs. And she goes over that heifer in second in that rib department. When you see her from the side, she's deeper both fore and rear rib. When you watch her walk, she's a little cleaner down through that hock region. She just tracks a little nicer. Even from the side, she's a little longer and cleaner right out through that head. But I don't want to be picky also. This heifer in second is another beautiful heifer. She's very feminine and clean and dairy. She uses that angularity here today to go over that big heifer in third. To me, she's a lot cleaner up to her head and neck. She's a heifer to show more silkiness to that rib region and cleaner bone, just cleaner down to the hock. But to really admire also this heifer in third. Heifer in third with big, deep body, open, just a really strong heifer through the front end. She uses that overall capacity to go over that long heifer in fourth. To me, she's deeper both fore and rear rib. She carries the loin a little bit harder also when she walks than that long heifer coming in fourth. Fourth over fifth, just a little bit more size and scale. She's taller, she's longer, and she's a little nicer down through that foot also than another black heifer coming in fifth. Congratulations, beautiful winner.
Yeah, let's give them a big round of applause. A lot of these have come a long ways to celebrate the 100th anniversary with you, and I think it's just great for you. We have killed 17 head in this class, and if you would like to mark them in your catalogs, and this is class number 4 of all heifer calves. 20 and 21 were scratched. Entry number 22 was 4th in the class. Leaping Raindrops on Roses. Anyway, number 23 was scratched. Entry number 24 was 10th in the class. He was the first place red and the second place junior exhibitor. And entry number 25 was 7th. Entry number 26 was 5th. Entry number 27 was scratched. Entry number 28 was 14th in the class. She was also a junior member, and she's owned by Gardner. Entry number 328 was 3rd in the class from Utah State University. Entry number 29 was scratched, 30 was scratched, 31 and 32 were scratched. Entry number 33 was 2nd in the class. First bred known. Second place bred known. Happy's Golden Reese from Happy's Farms above in Utah. And then entry number 342 was scratched, entry number 34 was scratched, entry number 35 was scratched, entry number 36 was 11. She was also a junior exhibitor, Zadie Harris, Solo Coons's Legacy. Entry number 37 was scratched, entry number 33, 38 was 16, entry number 38 was scratched, entry number 336 was 17. He was the second place red animal, Walona Absolute Manage from owned by Kent Aston. Entry number 39 was 8th. Entry number 40 was the winner in the class. She was the first place junior and also the first place red known. Campbell's Atwood Ladies Queen. Entry number 41 was 13th. She was also a junior member, joined by Zadie Harris. And then on entry number 42 was 15th in the class. She is also a junior exhibitor from Xander Harris. Entry number 43 was scratch. Entry number 44 was 6th in the class. Entry number 45 was 9th in the class. Entry number 46 was a scratch. We did have an added entry in the class. Entry number 347, a junior animal, and owned by Alexis Ender, and Ludgard Bradnick Elite. She was 12th in the class. And that is a class number 5 in the summer year, the class number 4 fall yearling Heifers. Now Mark is judging the red summer yearling Heifers. Mark, your comments.
Well, just 2 summer yearlings in here, but quite exceptional heifer here in first. Heifer that's very well balanced. Walks extremely nice, but she uses that overall capacity and openness of rib to go over the heifer in second. When you see her from the side, she shows more spring and openness, both fore and rear rib. When she comes at you, she's a little more correct to that front end. I like to width the muscle a little nicer. Has a little bit more width at chest floor, just a little bit more width throughout than the heifer in second. Heifer in second is a very long heifer, very hard top heifer, but not just the openness and gauge here to go any higher in this class. Congratulations.
And the Reds, entry number 47 was first. This is Link Brothers Diamond Ring Red. She's owned by Peter Title and West Coast Holsteins. This animal was bred by Jordan Leak. And then second place in the class was Yardu Jericho Deja Red, owned by Wade Zane Yardley and bred by Wade Zane Yardley. And now we're showing black and white summer yearling heifers. Let's bring those to the arena, please. And I do want to make a correction. In the previous class, entry number 40, that animal is a junior animal, but it is not the first place bred known. The first place bred known in the class is entry number 33 from Pappy's Farm, Pappy's Golden Race. There's a person coming up to as these animals are coming in the ring, we're going to invite some of the people that's been participating in this Richmond show for many years. And anyway, I'm going to have Wendell Mickelson introduce this next person. Certainly his name is synonymous with the Holstein World. Wendell, please introduce our distinguished guest.
It's a pleasure to introduce to you Joel Hastings of the Holstein World. I can tell you exactly how old I was when I first met Joel. I was 8 years old. He came and lived with us one summer at Utah State University, and his father and uncle, who started the Holstein World, wanted him to have a farm experience. So he came to Utah State, and I remember my dad had him put every cow ready for classification. He also had the experience of doing some photography with Daniel Meyer and hauling hay and so on. But Joel and the Holstein World have been, I would say, one of the highlights or one of the catalysts that have really been a great assistance to the registered breeders in the United States. And it's my pleasure to have Joel speak to us about Richmond.
you, Wendell. That was a great summer. I think we even worked on your Little League curveball that summer. And had a great time with your family, Charlie and Dorothy. It was really a wonderful experience, and I enjoyed coming back to Logan and Utah ever since. At Holstein World, we feel privileged to have worked with leaders here and some of your predecessors, and we look forward to working with the next generation too. I'd like to introduce Randy Blodgett over across the ring here. He's heading up our digital activities. We're live streaming the show as we have for the past several years, so it can be viewed around the world. And Randy has helped bring us into the new age, the new digital age, and we appreciate his efforts. We appreciate the support of readers who want to work with us on Facebook, want to work with us on websites, and want to visit our homepage. I'd also like to introduce another member of the World staff, Liz Dornick, who's right here with me. Liz is heading up our efforts to produce the Utah Holstein Annual. We appreciate the partnership with your association to produce the annual. She's going to tell you a little bit about it. And we thank Liz for being with us this year too. She is from Wisconsin, but we'll be working with readers here in the Mountain States and the West. And we're very pleased to have Liz on our staff. Liz?
As Joel said, we're very happy to be partnering with the Utah Holstein Association to put together the 2015 Holstein Annual. Put it up closer. I do have some flyers and information with me, but if you happen to see me, it'd be great if you stop and I can give you that information. The net proceeds of the annual go to the Utah Holstein Association, and we also want to make sure that you're aware that the actual annual itself is mailed to all Utah Holstein members, as well as all Utah milk producers. In addition, we distribute copies at the National Holstein Convention and the World Dairy Expo. So we're really happy to work with you and help create an ad that best fits your needs and helps you market your legacy, your animals, your farm, and your family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Liz. Yeah, let's give everyone from the Holstein World a big round of applause. And Randy Blodgett, thank you so much. We'll be seeing Randy taking a lot of photos. And as Liz mentioned, and also Joel mentioned, they've been getting a lot of hits. A lot of people look at this all through the country. It amazes me how often people say, yeah, I've got to watch that show on the internet. Never have been in Richmond, but anyway, certainly is something I know a lot of people really enjoy. So anyway, thank you again, Holstein World, for your coverage. One of the things you might have noticed is you're looking at some of the exhibitors and also a certain exhibit that is being displayed on the east side of the arena right now is some personalized black and white date buckles that are available throughout the show. So if you are interested, I'll be glad to tell you a little bit about them. Marty and Glenn Mickelson of Arrowhead Unlimited, they specialize in these custom belt buckles, and you can let them tell your story one buckle at a time. It's up to you. Matter of fact, tell you a little bit more about what's going on. The class winners all get one of these custom belt buckles. They're designed by Dane Mickelson. That's the grandson of Mr. Riley Mickelson of Life Riley Holsteins. Dane grew up in Lewiston, Utah, and is married to Kali. They have a 3-year-old boy named Riley and a 10-year-old girl named Adele, and expecting their third child this September. Thane graduated from Utah State in graphic design and is currently planting potatoes for Karen Farms. The limited edition black and white date buckle last night sold for $2,600. So if you might want one of these beautiful buckles, I know one of the Henderson boys is right over there on the east side of the arena, and feel free to visit. Great job tonight. Judge Reed has completed the judging for the summer yearlings. We have some junior exhibitors out here. I'd like to have our junior exhibitors take a step forward. Our first junior exhibitor is number 50. She's also third in the class. Her name is Wayback Brokaw Whipple. She's owned by Maddie Lee. And this animal was bred by Matthew Kennelly. That's our first junior and also third in the class. And then our second place in the class, and our first place bred known is entry number 53, Pappy's GC Princess Ray from Pappy's Farms of Ogden, Utah. And then the winner of the class is entry number 47, Link Brothers Diamond Ring Red. And this animal is now owned by Peter Title and West Coast Holsteins in British Columbia, bred by Jordan Manley. Congratulations, Judge Reed, your comments.
Well, another nice class, kind of all sizes and shapes in the class, and I'm not going to say it's an easy winner here in this class. You'd like to change a little bit about every heifer in here, but I think when you evaluate this red heifer, she's a heifer that has great size and balance, and she really uses that openness of rib and that balance of rib here today to go with the black heifer in second. And me, she shows me just a little bit more depth, both fore and rear rib. When you see her come at you, she's a little wider, see that muzzle a little wider down to the chest floor. When you see her from behind, she's a lot wider, see that curls and hips and pins. And this black, long, silky looking heifer coming in second. Second over third, just on that appearance, and she just showed me a lot more angularity here today. When you see her up through her head and neck, she's a bit longer and cleaner through that head and neck. She has a little bit silkier hide and just a little bit more openness or just bone quality, shows a little bit more angularity here today than the heifer in third. Third over fourth, I think just on the balance of frame here today. When you see her move on her feet and legs, she tracks a lot nicer. She's a little nicer over that rump region. She's a little bit more balanced in that frame region. But when you see her from behind, she tracks a lot straighter from behind. And she's just, like I said, neater over that rump region in a tall, long heifer in third. Fourth over fifth. Two heifers that are kind of tall, long in area. I think the advantage after fourth, just a little nicer over that rump region when you see her. Just a little longer and silkier also than another dairy heifer coming behind. Nice class translation.
Thanks very much, Mark. And now the class coming in for the Reds. Yeah, let's give them a big round of applause. That's an impressive class. And this is about history when you're sitting here at the 100th anniversary right now. The Red Whites will be coming in for the next class number 6, the spring yearling heifer. So if you'd like to go ahead and record this in your catalog in the previous class, entry number 47 was first in the class. She was also the first in the Red White Show, and then 333 was fourth. Entry number 48 was the scratch. Entry number 49 was fifth. Entry number 50 was third in the class, and she was also the first junior. And entry number 71 was seventh. Entry number 52 was scratch. Entry number 53 was second, and she was the first place bred null. Entry number 54 was eighth, and she was the second place bred in the class. Entry number 55, 56, 57, 58, 59 were all scratches, okay? Entry number 314 was sixth in the class. Now showing class number 6, the spring yearling heifers.
So he's not going to shoot. Well, we'll be here set up. Like, obviously, the show starts at 9:30. We were probably getting here set up.
He's gonna walk through the barn.
I mean, we'll tape them. We're not going to be live. We're going to tape them, yeah. And then we can put it up. Yeah. So he's coming at 8:30.
Right here on the ground at about 8:30.
Okay.
He's gonna walk through the barn for 10 minutes, and then you got a bunch of elementary kids that are gonna be in the corner for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And we're gonna do it.
Okay. So we'll be here at 8. Have everybody heard for
And Mark has completed his judging for the spring yearling Heifers in the red and white show, and entry number 316 will be first, entry number 78 will be second. The winning entry's name is entry number 316, Lake Breeze ACT D Red, owned by Mandy Brazil. And mark your comments.
Well, two exceptional spring yearlings here in the red and whites. I really love both individuals. I think when you see this first heifer, those standing side by side, when you look at them in the front end, a little bit more width to that chest floor, a little bit more width to the muzzle, and when you work your way back, our first heifer just has a little bit more width and power behind those crops. She just blends a little bit smoother, a little stronger through that loin region, a lot wider through that rump region. And when you see her from the side, she's just a bit deeper, more open, just more power all the way through, a little more heifer than this heifer in second. But this heifer in second is also an exceptional heifer. Really admire for her feet and legs. She's clean down through that hot region, tracks really nice on her feet and legs. Very dairy coming, just not quite the upstandiness and maybe that power throughout to go over that first heifer, but also exceptional heifer. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, let's give him a big round of applause. And now as these animals are coming into the ring for the black and white show, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce our next distinguished guest. I'm going to have him come up here and I'm going to introduce him to you. A while back, I was visiting with Jerry Strana, and I asked Jerry, I said, Jerry, over the years you've been coming to Richmond. Jerry's been there a few years longer than I have. I was asking, I said, was there ever a chief executive officer from the Holstein Association that would visit this, that has come out to visit this fine show? I think we have our first. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. John Meyer, the CEO of the Holstein Association. John, we're thrilled to have you on here.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. It's a real honor for me to be here on the 100th anniversary of the Richmond Black and White Days and Show. My sincere compliments to all of you involved with this, the many volunteers who put on this wonderful show and event. You know, I've heard great things about Richmond over the years. And Jim, you're right, it's my first trip out here, and I tell you this, after being here once, it won't be my last. It's just been fantastic. The quality of people, cattle, exhibitors, everybody getting these cattle ready is just second to none. You know, we had quite an event, just kind of getting started, but you know, we started out last night with a wonderful sale. There was something for everybody there last night, and it certainly, I was talking to Dallas Burton a few minutes ago, and we talked about the registered Holstein business. He said, you know, it's like insurance for success. And you look at these cattle that are out here today, these heifers, what was in the barns, what through the sale ring last night, that certainly is correct. Then we had a judges conference here earlier today, and Jim, thanks for your help. We had a wonderful judges conference, and that was great fun. We got National Holstein Director Mike Jones here, who's the director and chairman of the show committee, who helped with that, and of course former show committee chairman Jim Burdett, former director. We're also representing the great ones. You get President Glenn Brown here. Earlier we've got Director Bill Wright, and then a former director here, Gary Patrick. And so there's just been great leadership here in Utah, and I've been honored to have the opportunity to work for those people. And again, some of my colleagues here at the staff level that have been really instrumental in helping with things, Joe Jornowski, Lindsay Warden, I mentioned you, of course, Jim, and Steve Peterson, Barry Johnson, Alan Graves, and Andrew King, absolutely. Andrew King has been very helpful with everything here, too. So it's been a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot more fun to have here, and I think this should be a great remainder of this week. So everyone here at Richmond should be proud of this, and please continue this for another 100 years. It's absolutely a wonderful symbol of success of the registered Holstein cow and all the great people that go with it.
Thank you, John Meyer, and let's give John a big welcome today. We certainly appreciate having the CEO of the Holstein Association. We want to know that even though Brown Road is a long ways geographically, we're always close to and we're glad to have you out here. And as Mark and Stan are approaching their final lineup here, I would like to mention some of the black and white show champions through the years. If you recall, last year, our grand champion cow came from Tony Garcia's in California. Baxter Alice, and then the 2 previous years was the same cow, Golden Laramie from Chilliwack, British Columbia. There's a few that I would like to mention here. If you recall, in 2007, it was the grand champion cow was Estill Stormatic Legend, and then she went on to, she was of course first entered under Butters Holsteins, and then that was when Mike Beaver did bought her here at the sale, and then she won her class at Madison that year. Previously in 2006, Howard Binder had the grand champion cow, Bora Jet Kelly. And then before that, in 2005, was Ocean View Storm Dhaka. And then Rodwood Gloria Lou in 2004. And getting a little bit further back in time, you might remember in 1997, there was a cow, a Black Star that came from legendary Black Star Tony. And then even getting before that, we had a cow from Arizona that won the Skybuck Alice cow that came from Bristol Farms. And then 1995, Extreme 4 Cozy. If I want to think back a little further, in 1994, that was the year where Stan Henderson was judging. And the cow that was grand was Sea Maisie Lake, Panama, from Rosa Dairy in Tulare, California. And you get going back even a little bit further, 1992, the C. Hanover Hill Tony Ray was the grand champion cow from Matt Dooms. He was living in Oregon at the time and now in Wisconsin. There was something unusual about in 1981. There was a grand champion cow by the name of Butter Day Crystal Comet, and she was owned by the Crystal Syndicate in Salem, Oregon. Jerry Strandland told me that he wanted me to make sure to mention to the crowd the most unusual thing is that that cow had a personal escort over to LDS, the LD's Cafe. That cow, in the LD's, they said that they had heard about the grand champion cow, but they actually escorted her in that night at LD's Cafe. There's a picture over there in the cafe if you'd like to go take a look. But she actually got a look inside the cafe. And if, let me see if I recall, the owner was I said the Butter Day, or the Butter Day Crystal Comet Syndicate, but that was Rudy Lusher and George Bowtop, if I recall. Anyway, bring back a little bit of memories. Of course, this was Quebec in 1981. And then in the 70s, the Burnaway Echo Violet cow won quite a few times. There was a cow that came from southern Utah in 1973. She was from Merrill Jensen's Palisade Fury Soretta Beth. And then getting back now into the very early 1970s, this brings memories back to the Papa George's Patty Silver Pearl was grand in 1972. And Jerry told me to mention in 1966, it says it's not reported, but that was a cow that comes from the Lifer Riley Holsteins in Grace, Idaho. 1965, the grand champion cow was UTAG Idaho Burke Ivy from Utah State University. And we're getting back there in time with the grand champions. But anyway, it's great to go through time and talk about some of the cows that walked across the shanties here in Richmond, Utah. Also, when you start talking about the history of the Richmond show, they also they showed bulls right up until the year 2007. There were probably one bull that was grand champion here at the Richmond show that definitely had a great impact as far as on the breed of the Holstein breed that you see many times in the pedigrees. Matter of fact, we'll talk about Brooke Gubbington, they call it. He was the grand champion bull here in 1955. And the amazing thing, when you start talking about some of the things that this bull contributed, we talk about the Pixton Shot bull that came from Great Britain. Well, anyway, if you look at his pedigree, Brooke Gubbington Paul appears in there 5 different times, and he was actually the grand champion bull here at the Richmond show in 1955. 55. So it's very interesting. I got to tell a story about one of our judges one year was judging a show here, and I remember I was helping him. I was up at the announcer stand, and he comes back up and he says, you know, he just whispered this to me, but he said if I had that bull, I'd put him in one really great pen. And I said, why is that? He says, because I'm afraid he might get out and breed something. So anyway, it's interesting how some of the comments that you hear. But anyway, we don't really show too many of these bulls anymore. Of course, that's something that's kind of stopped. But it's interesting from a historical point of view, looking at some of the winners. And you want to talk about some of the judges too over the years. We've had some repeat judges. Right now, Mark is out here lining up this class here, and going to let him give the results here to you just shortly. Okay, now we got the winners of the class here. I'd first like to announce those. Our third place winner is entry number 72. She is the first place bred known. And from Pappy's Mars, Pappy's Golden Ravine. Second in the class is entry number 316 with the red heifer, Lake Breeze Act D. And that animal's from Mandy, Brazil. And she was the first place bred. And then our winner in the class is entry number 60, Ryan Hugh Brokaw Reaction. And she is from Matthew Kyle Lake. This animal was bred by Chad Ryan in Wisconsin. Congratulations. Judge Reed, your comments.
Well, just a beautiful heifer wins this class. When she comes in the ring, she really gives you a great presence, a style, and balance. She's well-grown heifer, but she's a heifer that moves so freely on her feet legs, and she uses her overall style and balance to go over the heifer a second. To me, she's just a little bit silkier and more feminine up through that front end. Shows a little bit more silkiness and hide. When she walks from behind, she tracks a little bit straighter out of her legs, she's a little cleaner down through that hop. It just shows me a little bit more openness and depth all the way through than the red heifer in second. Second over the third heifer, and second to me just got more power throughout. She's got more power through the muzzle. She's a lot deeper in that forward rut, deeper in that rear flank region. It shows me a little bit more openness and width throughout than the heifer in third. Third over fourth comes down to feet legs. To me, the heifer in third just tracks a lot. Better on her feet legs, she's more correct in her legs set and structure. She's having more comfortable also when she walks on those feet legs than the black heifer coming in fourth. Fourth over fifth, just a little bit more daringness, more upstandingness, and just a little longer heifer all the way through than the beautiful red heifer coming in sixth. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark. Our next class that's going to be coming into the ring will be class number 7, the winter yearling heifers. And if you'd like to mark your catalog, entry number 60 was first, entry number 61 was scratched. First of all, we did have 10 head in class number 6. Entry number 62 was a scratch also. Entry number 332 was a fourth in the class. That animal was owned by T&L Cattle Company. Entry number 63 was scratched. Entry number 64 was scratched. Entry number 65 was a scratch. We had a junior member in the class that was our first junior, and that animal was owned by Landon and Bracken Schumann. And anyway, that animal was ninth in the open show, entry number 66. Entry number 67 was a scratch also. Entry number 68 was a scratch. Entry number 316 was second in the class. She was the first place red, Lake Breed Act D red, and owned by Mandy, Brazil. Entry number 69 was 6th. Entry number 70 was scratch. 71 was a scratch. Entry number 72 was third in the class. She was the first place bred known, Pappy's Golden Ravine. Entry number 73 was scratch. Entry number 825 was 8th. Entry number 74 was a scratch. Entry number 75 was 7th. Entry number 76 was a scratch. Entry number 77 was a scratch. Entry number 78 was fifth in the class, and second in the red white show. We had an added entry in the class, entry number 345. She was 10th. By Kent and Daniel Butters, Marlene McCutcheon, Leanne. And also, I'd like to mention our entry number 75, who was seventh in the class, is owned by Jen Tillionberry in Pingree, Idaho. Now we're showing class number 7, and these are the winter yearling members coming into the arena. I don't know if anybody's had a chance, and I'm sure many of you have, to look at the latest Northwest Holstein News. And anyway, I thought it contained about as much historical information, especially on the Richmond show, as I've ever seen. Well, it's not easy to assemble all that, and Jerry Strandland started at quite a while back putting this all together. And Jerry, I just want to say I think he did a bang up job. I hope you don't mind that I've been reading all this information up here, because probably like a lot of people, they might have had a chance to glance at it, but they haven't had a chance to read it yet. It took a lot of work. Jerry, I want to say, hey, thanks a million for a job well done. We really enjoyed having this information. Tell us a little bit about what was involved on it, and how long it took, and when you really started.
Well, to talk about that, I think quite a little while. I can tell you this, it was a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of looking at old Holstein World, and I, by the way, want to thank a lady back at the World office, Janet Crass, who put a lot of effort into doing research on the old pictures that you see in the article on the history are from the Holstein World files. And she's been weekend when the wind was blowing and it was 30 below zero back there, taking all that out. So that's where all that came from. But, you know, the old Richmond show is, as I mentioned in the article, the most storied show in all of America, and it's most storied because it's 100 years old. No other show is that old. And certainly the founders of the first show and every show thereafter all had stories to tell. Jim told a story that I didn't have room to put in a magazine about the cow that was ranch entry here in 1960 or 1981. In the evening, she paraded through LB's restaurant over here. Now, I can tell you that created quite a commotion, and has to be one of the more storied stories of the whole show. However, I do imagine that the first show, of which there is a picture of, that you've seen on the billboard as you came into Richmond, and that's also included in the article. It's a lineup of old bulls. And back in those days, the first 2 or 3 shows, they did not line up and judge like we do now. They just kind of, each breeder had his own little group, and the person officiating, who I think at the first show was Professor King from Utah State University. He would go around to each breeder and explain the strong points of the various cows and bulls. And that lineup of bulls represented certainly the high-powered genetic material they had available back then. The bull on the far left came out and he was born in 1910 in New York State. A group of breeders here went back and purchased that bull as a calf, and he came out in Cache Valley and was used for many, many years. And of course, and they paid $1,200 for him at that time, 1915, which was quite a dear price to pay. But he undoubtedly left his imprint, and perhaps some of the cattle in the room today would go back to that bull and other early bulls. Cache County certainly was an early leader in bringing registered cattle to the show has had a great history. Jim has read to you the champions and so on. And the picture that's missing in there, the picture that really needed to be there, unfortunately is back at the World office, but the darn picture was locked in a file cabinet. They couldn't get the darn thing open, and so we didn't have it in the article. But we'll get the picture come next year. And Joe, I think next time he goes back to New York, he'll perhaps pursue obtaining that picture, and we will publish it. But that cow was the only cow in 100 years that was grand champion 4 times here at the Richmond Black and White Show. She was exhibited by Utah State University, and I dug around a little on her pedigree, and that's kind of interesting. You know, I have a little story on that in next year's annual. She was, well, I won't get into that now. We'll talk about that at a later date. So each year, there's always stories that have evolved about champions and grand champions and people. I talked to some of the old timers here, Bill Wright and Mary Papa George tells about the first, and they remember the very first show that they attended. And they tell about the judges and the things that went on and so on. So I suspect if we collected all those stories of the people alive today and published them, there would be probably a 500-page book. That would take quite a bit of doing. Anyway, I think I rattled on long enough. The judges get the things lined up here, so I'll maybe see if you can say a few words later on today and tomorrow. And I'll turn it over to Jim again.
Jerry, thanks a million. What a big up job. And let's give everybody a big round of applause and pick up one of the Northwest Husky News. Okay, they're out here on that, okay? And make sure you pick one up because it's something, but an outstanding job. And anyway, certainly, I'll tell you what, Strandlin, your name is synonymous in dairy journalism. Outstanding. Yeah, that was a beautiful piece of work. I'm sure the old timers, many that aren't here, would say thank you. Really, thanks a lot. I just wanted to let you know as far as how journalism has changed too much over the years. Randy Blodgett was just telling me, want to take a guess on how many people have looked at this site already, this show that's going on. 12,000 people have already, I guess you call them hits right now, as far as on this site right now, from 43 different countries. So anyway, certainly enjoying the show. But anyway, they didn't get to do that 100 years ago. And Randy, thanks for providing me that piece of information. Judge Reed has completed the judging for the winner in yearling Heifers. And this time I'd like to recognize some of the winners that's in the class out here. And standing third in the class, and she's our first place bred gnome, is entry number 91, Pappy's Armani Reckless. This animal is now owned by Wayback Holsteins. The second place in the class is entry number 81, and her name is Paul Butte Grant Moretta, and she is now owned by Blair Mickelson and John Wallentine. And her winner in the class is entry number 317, Butlerview Door Camila, and And this animal is owned by Triple Crown, Mitch Hockett, and Josh Wright. This animal was bred by Jeff Butler in Illinois. Congratulations. Judge, read through comments, please.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a really nice effort to win this class in first. I think she wins the class quite handily. When you see her on the outside of the ring, extremely tall, long heifer, very nice up in our makeup. She's very long in her frame, deep, both fore and rear rib, and half of that moves really nice on those feet and legs. She uses that size and scale and overall length of frame to go over the heifer in second. To me, she's heifer also a little bit deeper and shows more spring rib, both fore and rear rib, and just a little bit more balance throughout. Than a very dairy heifer coming in second. Heifer in second, you admire that dairyness, that silkiness, that clean hide, and to me she's a lot cleaner up through that front end. She's sharper over that top line, just cleaner over the rib region, cleaner down through that hop region, and shows me a little bit more width to that pin region than this very young heifer coming in third. Heifer in third is the youngest heifer in the class. To me, she's just a lot silkier looking, she's a lot cleaner, and just more feminine dairy than this big, tall heifer coming in fifth. Really nice class with beautiful winner. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, give them a big round of applause. We appreciate watching the great quality we're seeing out there in the arena. Class number 18, the next one is ball yearling heifers. If you'd like to help your catalogs, you can follow along. And class number 7, winter yearling heifers, we showed 6 headed there. 79 was a scratch, 80 was a scratch, entry number 81 was second. And that animal is owned by now Doubletree, Blair Mickelson, and John Wallenstein. Entry number 82 was second. Excuse me, 82 was scratch. Entry number 317 was first. And that animal's Butterview Door Camilla from Triple Crown Genetics, Mitch Hockett, Josh Wright. Entry number 83 was fourth. Entry number 84 was scratch. Entry number 85 was scratch. Entry number 86 was sixth. Entry number 87 was scratch. Entry number 88 was fifth. And entry number 89 was fifth. Entry number 89 was also the first place bred known UTAG GW Atwood Patch from Utah State University. Entry number 90 was scratch. Entry number 91 was third in the class. She is owned by Wayman Holsteins, Happy's Armani Reckless. Now showing the class number 8, the fall yearling heifers in the red division. And Judge Reed has completed the judging in the red and white division, in the winner for the fall yearling Heifers entry for 107, going to Armistead CC, owned by Wade Yardley. And then the second place is entry number 93, Sunspark Lad, Apple Felicity Red, and she's owned by Wayland Holsteins. Judge Reed, your comments for the red fall yearling Heifers.
Well, just two heifers in here, but they're both beautiful heifers in their own right. But I think when you see this first heifer out on the move, she's just a heifer that shows a little bit more style and balance to that frame. When you see her out, she's a little bit more correct up to that front end. I give it advantage just being a little cleaner, showing more breed character, breed dariness up to that front end, sharper over the shoulder, just longer, cleaner to that head and neck, and more correct in that muzzle structure. And then the heifer in second. She also walks, I think you can see behind, she's a little straighter on the rear legs as she moves, and she's more correct in that rump structure. I think she has a little bit more correct set from hips to pins than the heifer in second. The heifer in second is also a nice heifer, has a lot of width and power throughout. Heifer that's very well balanced in her own right also. Congratulations on two beautiful heifers.
And thank you, Mark. And as these Heifers come into the black and white division for the fall yearling Heifers, as a guest I want to introduce and come up to the mic, because I'm sure what he's saying to himself right now is, it's here. It's finally happening. We've been planning this for many, many years, and as I mentioned earlier, this gentleman is 6th or 5th descendant from the person that sat there on the original Richmond committee back in 1915, and you are a 5th generation. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, Craig Harris, that's on the committee now for Richmond. Craig, we'll let you welcome everybody here.
Thank you very much, Jim. Pleasure to be part of the history. For the last 100 years, our family's been involved in this show for 400 years. I'm glad for that. With that aside, last year after the show was over, we thought, what can we do to really put on a grand slam show next year? And that's when we entertained the motion of the grand champion cow being paid $10,000. And that took a lot of effort to get that job accomplished through a lot of different people that have some connections in the state. And then the next thing we thought of was $5,000 for the reserve grand champion. So we come up this year with $25,000 worth of extra cash money in sponsorships for these champions in this show today and tomorrow. So the junior champion heifer here this afternoon is going to receive $5,000. The reserve junior champion heifer is going to receive $1,000. The junior best three group of heifers in this show today will receive $2,500 from our different sponsors. That's a major undertaking to come up with this kind of premiums and this kind of money for our champions. Along with, the heifers will receive the regular premiums that we pay every year during the regular show. These are all extra premiums over and above what they've done in the past. So, we have a great committee that's gone out and reached out to some larger, bigger businesses to help us provide these services today. And the Department of Agriculture will be here tomorrow. That's where we came up with our $10,000 for the Grand Champion cow. Western Ag Credit's going to be for the Reserve Grand Champion cow, sponsored $5,000. The junior champion heifer today is Ranco. That's a big sponsor we'll come up with actually. So I'm just happy to have everybody here this day. We have people all over the United States. I found out just a few minutes ago we have two gentlemen here from the Netherlands that was here this morning with the judging contest this morning. So they were here this morning with the judging contest, and we have people from I don't know how many states. Maine, Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, California, Colorado, Arizona, Washington, Oregon, and people from everywhere. I just thank you for coming. I hope you're having fun and enjoying this 100th anniversary with us. We had a pickup last week, and so we're getting over that. So we met for quite a while last Friday. We had a lot of discussion for about 4 hours. Decided what we were going to do with this show. And it was pretty well unanimous that we're going to push forward and make a show on scale. And we're just grateful to everybody that's here. We're just going to be able to have our other Canadians here with us. We'll have another big show next year, and it has not been discussed about having $10,000 grand champion, but just to let you know, it's back in my mind. So it's very possible it might happen again next year. I'm just thankful for everybody being here, and we do have a lot of history, a lot of legacy here. Being the longest ongoing show at the same location, that's quite a tradition, you know. 100 years, that's amazing. It's just unbelievable. With our forefathers, I can't imagine what they would think if they could see this show today. The kind of cows that they had back in those days, and the kind of cows they came back to the 1920s. We got some pictures of the grand champion cow back in 1938, 1940s, and 50s. Boy, the cows have changed so much. And our ancestors would be so excited to see these kind of cows, I'm sure. But we are breeding a great group of cattle around the country, and I'm just glad to be part of it and being able to help host you people and have everybody come. We need exhibitors. I'm thankful for all the exhibitors that's traveled so far and all the people that's come to watch the exhibitors. I've heard 4 or 5 people in the crowd say, I've never been to this in my entire life. So that's a bit age on some of these people. So we're bringing people out of the woodwork to see the show in Florida. So thank you for coming. I hope your visit is well and everything's good for you. If you have any complaints, call my wife. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig, and thank you for that welcome. Craig Harris, 5th generation descendant of one of the gentlemen that served on that committee back in 1915. And anyway, thank you, Craig. And just to add a little bit to what Craig was talking about, there is, Jody Haneski was telling me this looks like 68 heifers entered for this show, and it's going to be parading before Mark Reed today, and 83 cows tomorrow. That show starts at, I believe, 9:30 tomorrow morning. 83 cows. So anyway, looking forward to it.
One more thing I want to say. I want to thank Jerry Strandman. Jerry Strandman put a lot of effort in finding the history of this show. He is a master of doing what he does. Now on the program that you have right in front of you right now, on the front cover of that program, Jerry was talking about that first group of bull classes right on the cover. Now, on that cover of your program, that picture is in my backyard today. That's where I live right now. That's my backyard. Up in that left-hand corner of that program, there's a little corner of an old barn. That barn is still in my backyard. And then up in the other corner at the top is a little granary stand in the corner of that building. Or in that picture. That granary is still standing. Now those bigger pictures right beside where the bulls are, I don't know what those buildings are, but that's exactly where my house is right today. So it's quite a history, Jerry, and I love that picture. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Dignitary has completed the judging for the fall yearling heifers. I would like to recognize the winners in the class. Third place, entry number 101. She's the first place bred known, Wayland Gold, 3839. And second place in the class, entry number 102, most named Defiant Whirlwind, owned by Don Isan, Gilbert Texera, and Kevin Winter. And the winner in the class is entry number 95, Butlerview 8 Atwood Whiskey. This animal is owned by T&L Cattle Company, bred by Jeff Butler in Illinois. Your comments, please, Judge Reed.
Well, by far the best quality from top to bottom in this class. Not a big class, but really great quality. And I think it's good of a quality class. It says I think this heifer at first one's quite manly. She's a heifer that has great size, great length and openness. And I think when you see her out on the move, she just kind of overwhelms this really correct heifer in seconds. I mean, there's just a lot more width and depth and sprinter rib all the way through than our heifer in second. I think when our first heifer comes at you, she's wider through that muzzle, wider through that chest floor, wider through that rump, giving her that just a little bit more overall volume all the way through than the heifer in second. Second over third, it's always a close place, but I think it's the more you see this heifer in second, she's not the biggest heifer in the class, but she is really correct. And she uses those great feet legs just to move over the top of that heifer in the third. I did that late switch, and I just like the feet legs and correctness. I think when you see her standing, got both front ends at you, she does a little bit more correct through her front legs. She does a little bit more balance in her frame. She's also neater to that tail setting, and just a little bit more feminine, clean, and extremely tall, long heifer in third. Third over fourth, to me, just a little bit silkier and more openness all the way through. Just a cleaner hind end heifer, a little deeper in that rear flank than the red heifer coming in fourth. Fourth over fifth, just a little bit more balanced style and blending the parts a little nicer than the tall, long heifer coming behind. Congratulations, beautiful class.
Big round of applause. Thank you so much. And we'd like to report your placing for class number 8 in the fall yearling heifers. Entry number 92 was a scratch. Entry 93 was 6. She was second in the red and white show. Entry number 94 was a scratch. Entry number 95 was first. 96, 97, 98, 99 were all scratches. Entry number 100 was 7th. Entry number 101 was 3rd. She was the first place for it all. Entry number 102 was 2nd. Entry number 103 was 5th. Entry number 104, 105, and 106 were scratches. Entry number 107 was 4th. She was the first place red and white. The Army Newton Armstead CC. Entry number 108 was a scratch.
Oh, you're fine.
And now we're showing in the red and white in the junior division. Introduce this young lady one more time that's out here. Gianni Casatordo, and her name is the heifer. She's got this Giltex body. And this heifer was the first place red heifer in the fall heifer class.
Well, just one young lady out here for our red and white junior champion, the junior show, but just an exceptional heifer. I think heifer with great balance and style. The heifer that moves really nice on her feet and legs. The young lady does a fantastic job. Let's give her a big round of applause. She come all the way from California. It's a beautiful heifer.
would like to introduce some of these animals that's coming to the ring today in case you showed up a little bit later. And what it is in the ring right now is Appleseed Cherry, and she's entry number 14. She was the first place red and white calf in the winter heifer calves. Then the next red is the one that's getting photoed right now, and that'd be number 24, Kiltex Bonnie from Gianni Cosacoro. And the next red would be entry number 147, and that is Leak Brothers Diamond Ring Red. And she is now owned by Peter Title and West Coast Holsteins. She is bred by Jordan and Matt Leak in Idaho. The second place red heifer would be number 78, TCG Barbed Wire Red. She is owned by Joseph Panther and Triple Crown Genetics. Then number 316 is the first place heifer in the red and white show. That animal is Lake Breeze Acti Red, and she's owned by Mandy Brazil. Then the next animal is number 107, and that is CC. And then the second place animal in the fall yearlings was Sun Park Lad Appleseed. That animal is owned by Wadeland Holsteins.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a really nice red and white show here, and I think when you see all the winners come, the first and second place heifers come in, to me, these three heifers, I think, just excel in their overall balance and style. They're heifers, I think, that can stand a lot of competition because they're quality heifers. They have a nice size, they have great quality, the feed nice where they move, great balance with both but for me, I think down the line for a bigger show, I think this summer yearling here today just shows me a little bit more overall correctness. After that, it's just moving a little bit nicer here today than our spring yearling. So we're going to make junior champion on that summer yearling here today over the spring yearling. Just a little bit more quality and balance, but I think just when she moves, she shows a little bit more style on the move. She carries that top on a lot nicer. She's a little bit more correct as she flows through the ring on those feet legs. I pulled this second place spring yearling also. That was a great class, just 2 heifers. But the spring yearling also carries a lot of quality. Our winner had that size and width, but that second place heifer, not the biggest heifer, but boy, she's really correct and really nice on her feet legs. And I just like the way she moves. And let's give them all a round of applause here today.
Congratulations, exhibitors. Entry number 47 will be the red heifer that is the junior champion. League Brothers Diamond Ring Red. This animal was bred by Jordan and Matt League, owned by Peter Title and West Coast Holsteins in British Columbia. And the reserve is entry number 316, the Lake Breeze Act D Red, and that animal is owned by Mandy Brazil and bred by Mike and Laura Brammer. And then the honorable mention champion is entry number 78, it's TCG JP Barbed Wire Red, and that animal is owned by Joseph Cantor and Triple Crown Genetics in Idaho. Congratulations.
What?
I would like to announce now also that Lindsay Wharton has told me that they are maybe the premier breeder of today's Heifer Show, and then likewise tomorrow with the cows also. For this year's 2015 Western Spring National Holstein Show, the premier breeder of the Holstein Show is Pappy's Farm, with over 108 points. Congratulations to the crew at Pappy's Farm. Yeah, give them a great round of applause. You know, Willie and Meyer will need to bring out the talk about continued breeding success, and very much nice to be. And I'd like to announce these winners as they're coming out in the ring. As far as in the first class today, the winner heifer counts. The winner was issued for 13, York's Absolute Vodka. And she is owned by Janice Lane, Gary York, and Matt Day. Then entry number 319 was the second in the class, and that was held Bandit Overworld. And that animal was owned by Hoagie's Registered Holsteins and Wayland. The South area. And then moving on to the next class, which was the fall heifer calves. The winner was entry number 40, Campbell Atwood Ladies Queen. And then the second place in the class was entry number 33. Would like to announce some of the juniors in your entry number 322 is junior in the winner heifer class. That was entry number 322. Her name is Doubletree Harvey Jackie, and she is from Nolan Jensen. And then in the summer yearling heifers, the first place junior was entry number 50, Wayman Brokaw Whipple from Matt Lee. I'd like to announce the people that's out here that Mark has pulled out. Entry number 40 is Campbell's Atwood Ladies Queen. He's also pulled out entry number 50, and that is Wayman Whipple. And number 49 is Miss Greenhill Destiny.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we have junior champion, the junior show, and I pulled 3 heifers out here. I think these heifers show a lot of quality, a lot of balance. They're beautiful heifers. These kids done a really nice job showing them. We've got our first place fall calf, just extremely well balanced heifer that's very feminine and clean and really deep, both fore and rear rib. Heifer that moves really nice on her feet legs. And I pulled a pair of summer yearlings out. The white-ear heifer in there is just extremely hard top, very stylish heifer on the move. She shows a little bit more middle, just a little bit more balance from that top line, I should say. Just a little nicer to that rump structure than our second place summer yearling. And I think when you see these 3 heifers out here, this fall calf is quite exceptional. I think she's the right size, she's right balance, and she shows that angularity and that femininity and that openness here just a little bit more than the summer yearling. So our senior calf, our fall calf is going to be our junior champion. The summer yearling is going to be reserved, and the second place summer yearling is going to be honorable mention. I think just a beautiful heifer that's junior champion. Give these kids a round of applause. Really, really nice junior calf.
Okay, big congratulations into Destiny Leonardo from Campbell's Atwood Ladies Team will be junior champion of the junior show. Congratulations. Then the reserve is entry number 50, Wayman Whipple, and that animal is owned by Maddie Lee. Congratulations to you. And then honorable mention is number 44, 49, and that is Miss Greenhill Destiny from Grace Wilbur. And that animal was bred by Greenhill Genetics and Joe Coleman. Now we are ready for the junior champion in the open show. These are all the first and second place animals that you saw paraded before you today. This afternoon at Richmond's 100th anniversary show. Anyway, I'll go ahead and introduce those animals to you as they come into the ring. Entry number 13 is Jordan's Absolute Vodka. And that animal's owned by Janice Lee, Gary York, and Matt Day. Entry number 319 is the next animal that's coming in the ring, and that animal is owned by Augie's Registered Holsteins and Wayland Holsteins. Her name is Elbed Overroad. Those are the 3 winners today in the winter heifer calves. And then moving on to the fall heifer calves, entry number 40 was the winner, and her name is Campbell's Atwood Lady Queen, owned by Destiny Leonardo. Entry number 33 was second in the class, Pappy's Golden Grease, and that animal is owned by Pappy's Farms of Elkin, Utah. So we move to the summer yearling heifers, and the winner in that class is entry number 47, Big Brother Diamond Green Red, and that animal is owned by Peter Title and West Coast Holsteins. Number 53 was second in the class, and her name is Pappy's GC Princess Ray, and she's owned by Pappy's Farms of Ogden, Utah. And then the spring yearling heifers, the winner was entry number 60, and that is Ryan Hughes Grogan Reaction, and she is owned by Matt Kyle Lee. And then second place in the class was entry number 360, Lake Breeze at the Red, and that animal is owned by Andy Brazil. And then in the winter yearling heifers, our first place animal is entry number 17, Butlerview Door Camellia, and that animal is owned by Triple Crown, Mitch Hockett, and Josh Wright. And then second in the class was entry number 81, Holview Grand Moretta, and that animal is now owned by Doubletree, Blair Mickelson, and John Wallenstein. And in the fall yearling heifers, the winner was entry number 95, Butlerview Atwood Whiskey, and that animal is owned by T&L Cattle Company. And And then the second in that class was entry number 102, and that animal's name is Mosang Defiant Whirlwind. And that animal is owned by Don Esau, Gilbert Texera, and Kevin Woodard. And those are your first and second place winners from today's Heifer Show. Looking forward to a great cow show tomorrow. But if you enjoyed this Heifer Show today, let's go show these exhibitors your appreciation. Let's give them a round of appreciation.
Well, the judges saying that's a good chance. I just want to tell you a little story about we're coming to the goal. As Jim mentioned earlier, he was grand champion twice here at Richmond. He was the only goal that cast out of breeders yet. It didn't make it out of the cast out throughout the United States and even Canada. Rick Upton himself was twice grand champion, and also 1 year he was a reserve grand champion. Another interesting fact about him is probably, I think he's the only bull grand champion here whose dam was also grand champion in 1947. This dam, although they all think that the golden name, was grand to this show. And she was owned by Utah State University. And so there was an order, of course, a few years later, I guess, that her son came along here and was grand champion. And years afterwards, Bert Gavinka Nicole's daughters, granddaughters, and great-granddaughters are present here, and once it's got some animals today, still showing the show, carrying the life of Bert Gavinka Nicole. The dam of his was bred by Woodwardale Farm up in Montpelier, Idaho, and that herd is the oldest continuous bred herd in the western United States. There's still animals today floating around with little prefix. And then the grandfather, William Brown, is alive today. His grandfather brought registered animals up into Montpelier, Idaho in about in the 1890s. And so the Willowdale cow was the dam of Burka from that herd.
Jerry, that is so interesting because I'll just keep adding on to the story as far as Bert Gavinka Nicole. I comes to find out that was kind of the days, there was a lot of his semen put up as fresh, raw semen, and some of it was frozen. But I remember years ago when Reuben Osmond was was the general manager at Cache Valley Breeders, was telling us, a group of us one day, that when Bert Gavinka Nicole was kind of in his final day of life, that they actually removed the testicles on the bull and took the epididymis and got the very last drops out of what that bull was. And anyway, one of the daughters that was conceived from that raw semen was Dean Wayne Betty Burt, that went on to Pacomar Farms. And I believe she was the highest scored daughter of the bull. So anyway, it's quite interesting about the story of Bert Gavinka Nicole. And if you talk to some of the old timers around here, they didn't call him Bert Gavinka Nicole. They had another name for him, or a number, I should say. Remember? It was H10. Yeah, H10 in this area. So anyway, and then Wendell Nicholson's father had a lot to do with promoting the bull. Charles Nicholson said, hey, this bull is a great mating back on the Ivanhoes, and that kind of was one of the originals of the Burt Ivanhoe cross. But I remember then George Kane at Utah State University was saying, by now they look like leopards of all the spots on them. And of course, today when we see the shuttles out there, we see all the spots, well, it goes back to this great bull that came out of this area, Burt Gavinka Nicole. So anyway, it's kind of interesting, the stories that go around also, because and Harry Pappinger just came up here, and Harry might correct us on this thing, but if you recall back then, there was no such thing as when you registered an animal, you could use pictures. You had to sketch the animals. And anyway, people were complaining about all these spots on these animals that look like leopards. And anyway, wasn't it George Payne said? He said, just remember each one of those spots is a dollar bill. So anyway, and Harry, I know you're going to add more to the story. Tell us a little bit more.
I remember very vividly Bert Gubbing the way he came to be. Edward Hawthorne, John Dunn, dogs were moved up to the Utah State Industrial School, and they got some semen for Pat Gubbing. Fresh semen, and he got it up there, he says, nobody knew how to inseminate the cow. So let's stop at the university. We stopped at the university, the old control main towers happened to be, and the staff at the university talked to me, the internet scene, control main, Bert Gubbing told us the result of that meeting.
I tell you what, that pops it all off, Harry. Thank you so much. It's worth a lot. It amazes me, and Harry, I hope there's a lot of us are saying out there where your age to have a mind that sharp to remember that. That's impressive. Thank you so much, Harry. That's great to hear. But yes, that was exactly how some of the meetings that took place, especially in the days. And some of you people that have walked quite a long ways to be here, you might recall. In the days of fresh semen, before there was frozen semen, do you want to guess how this semen was transported across the United States? Anyway, ABS actually flew planes at one time and dropped it out of with a dry ice pack in some of these isolated areas, the days of raw semen. And anyway, it was very interesting that and they had kind of a little parachute on it, and a veterinarian in those days would then inseminate the cow. But that's prior to frozen semen, that was how some of these registered Holsteins came about throughout, especially these isolated areas throughout the Rocky Mountains in the western United States. Yeah, I'm going to arrive a little bit late this afternoon. If you just got here and want to watch this great show here today, and I'd like to introduce our judge one more time, Mr. Mark Reeve from Oxford, Wisconsin. Mark has participated out here quite a few times and worked with quite a few cattle in the western United States, but he and his wife Nikki operate a herd there in Oxford, Wisconsin. And of course, it's interesting to talk. We can't talk about Black Rose and the great integrity of paradise without talking about a couple of cows that Mark owns. So anyway, it's been great watching him judge out here today. Assisting him in the ring is the associate judge Mr. Stan Henderson, I should say Dr. Stan Henderson, also accompanying out there today, and then assisting in the ring is Wendell Mickelson. So thanks a million, guys. Been a great morning, a great afternoon. We had the judges conference this morning, and then this afternoon, and of course the Heifer Show, and completion of the cow show tomorrow. Be sure and show up for that. But you're looking at some of the finest Holsteins in North America. We really appreciate you exhibitors hauling these animals a long way. We'll await the decision here real quickly as far as for the junior champion of this year's Richmond Black and White Show and the Western Spring National Show. I also would like to announce we got kind of a special guest that's going to be here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock prior to the show. Governor Herbert, the governor of the state of Utah, is going to be here, and I'm sure many of you definitely want to hear from him tomorrow, and he's going to be right here in the arena, and we're looking forward to that. So tomorrow's events, the judging starts at 9:30. You're all invited to hear tomorrow. I'm going to tell Mark not to get in any big hurry, because Jerry Scramlin's got one more story he wants to tell us, Mark, so take your time out there.
Well, this story has a little bit to relate to Mark, because I did a little few paragraphs on the show judges the last 100 years for Richmond and history that I did in Northwest Holstein News. I think, long story short, back in the early days, I think 1947, there's a judge from Minnesota by the name of Bill Moskrit, who was asked to come out here and judge your show. In fact, he made Willowdale Lincoln Nicole May grand champion that year, I believe. The old Bill Moskrit was one of the great breeders in America at that time. And the greatest animal he ever bred was a bull called North Star Joe Homestead that went out to Carnation and helped him a great deal back in the early days. The distinction about Bill Moskrit was that in the teens and 1920s, when the National Dairy Show got started back in the Midwest, which was a major big dairy exhibition at the time, Bill Moskrit judged at the first 34 shows. He judged 18 of the shows. So he judged half of the shows in the beginning, in the first half of the 1900s. And that gives you an idea of what breeders thought about him. And over the years, of course, the Richmond Black and White Days Committee strived to get the very top judge to come to their show each year. And they've done that ever since. And in fact, Mark has been here now twice, so they must think pretty highly of him, or he wouldn't be here, that's for sure. So congratulations to you, Mark.
Jerry, thanks a million for that bit of information. Appreciate all the years that you helped out with this show. And anyway, at this time, I think it's great. Let's show our appreciation to Mark Reed Judges Show today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for junior champion of this Holstein show, I think we pulled out a few Heifers in the lineup, and we left these quality ones left. I think this group here left is just, I think, fantastic. And they're all cut from the same mold. They all get that great quality and dairiness to them. They're very well balanced heifers. All these heifers move really well in their feet lengths. The first heifer I pulled out was a winter calf. She was very tall, open dairy calf, tremendous for her age, for the size, but he really impressed with the openness of rib and depth of rib. She's a beautiful, long, stylish heifer. And then we got our junior champ for the junior show, this young fall calf, just same cut. Maybe she's not as big for the big time, but she's by far quality enough for any animal at any show. This is just exceptional heifer in her quality and balance. Then I pulled out our spring yearling. The big black heifer really excelled in the class. She's extremely tall, long. Same pattern in that rib. It's very deep and open, very wide chested. Then the winter yearling we pulled up, extremely tall, hard top heifer. You really got to be impressed with how hard she keeps that loin when she moves. She's really nice in her feet and legs. Heifer looks great underneath. You get behind her, she's just so nice over her top line. She's extremely long. Then I pulled a pair of these, the fall yearlings out. Two beautiful heifers. Our winning heifer wins on that openness of rib, that depth of rib. She has that same pattern as those other heifers. Very open and deep, both forehead and rear rib. Really nice with that rump structure. Then the second heifer, I'm glad I made that switch because that heifer is just so well balanced in her, and she moves so nice in her feet. Like she follows that same quality as all these other heifers. It's very close. I know a lot on the line here. I think you can do a number of things. But we talked, Stan and I talked, and I think we were in agreement. It's very close, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to make my junior champion, and then I'm going to slap my reserve junior champion, and then honorable mention, and I'll give reasons after that. Thank you.
Winner is number 317, Buckview Door Camellia. Congratulations. Over by Triple Crown, the reserve is Buckview Atwood Whiskey from T&L Cattle Company.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is a very uniform group, and you can do a number of things out here, but I think this winter yearling, I think she really impresses me. Like I said, when she walks, she's extremely hard top. She's tall and long in her frame, but yet still youthful enough looking. You get behind her, she looks great underneath. She looks like a heifer, and you really love the calf, and it'd be something really special. And she goes over that fall yearling, just on that overall length to the top line. To me, she's a little harder through that loin region. I think she's a little more correct when she walks on her feet legs here today when she gets going than the fall yearling. And then I pulled that winter calf in there for honorable mention. I don't like making young heifers junior champion, but that winter calf is going to stand a lot of competition down the line. And maybe by the end of the year, she may yet be the best heifer. But I'm going with a little bit more maturity, a little bit more development, and we'll give that heifer another time to come back next year. And congratulations to all the heifers here. Let's give them one more big round of applause.
Yeah, give a big round of applause. It's been an outstanding Heifer Show. We're looking forward to watching that Heifer Show tomorrow. Thank you so much. We still have one more class. We've got the junior best three females in here that are going to be, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're looking forward to just an outstanding show tomorrow. Thank you for all your participation. In any way, if you want to see some of the finest North American Holsteins, you get to see them right here in Richmond, Utah. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
pile right in front of the guy in the blue shirt. And then it's that guy, the other side of the blue shirt.
While these best three females are coming in, there's a gentleman that I would like to recognize that also has a lot to do with Utah politics. I'm going to have Mr. Craig Butter stand up right now and be recognized. I understand you were the new Cache County executive. Is that correct, Craig? Congratulations. And thanks for watching, Rich. That's more important than anything government, isn't it? Anyway, born and bred Lewiston, Utah. Nice having you.
George grouping first for the junior best three.
There's a couple of young ladies I didn't get to introduce, but they made all the presentations. They will the ribbons and that. And first I'd like for you to meet Macy McDonald, and she's from the grand town of Hiram, Utah. She attends Mountain Crest High School, and she participates in the FFA program. And anyway, she likes to play the guitar and sing, and she does things outside like hiking and fishing, four-wheeling, and jumps down to his beach as a side job. And then this year, she'll be in her second year of showing the dairy heifer at the fair. So she said she really enjoys being around animals. And also I'd like to introduce Emmy Atkinson. And she lives in Logan, Utah, and her entire life, and she attends Logan High, and she participates in the orchestra. She enjoys helping her dad on the dairy, and recently got a heifer of her own in a lamb also that she shows in 4-H. Since 8 years old, she's enjoyed every minute of showing, and the only other thing that she likes to do then is singing and socializing. So those are the two gals. Let's give them gals who really appreciate that. Give them a round of applause. Macy McDonald and Emmy Atkinson. And I'd like to announce the winners of the class here is best three females. Entry number 115 is from Pappy's Farm. Second is the double dairy for Harris Dairy Land, and then